Hey Matt, thanks for choosing Surf Pro Techniques. My name is Chapin and I'll be your surf consultant today. You mentioned in your email that your goal was to go faster without having to pump the whole wave and to start doing bigger and better turns. You also said that when you race down the line, you find yourself finishing the wave on the shoulder with a slow motion wrap. And you feel like when you move your foot farther back on the surfboard, it slows you down and makes it more difficult to get in a crouch position. So, based on all the photos that you sent, I can definitely see some key points that I will show you and things that I think are really going to help you accomplish those goals. Okay, so the first thing I want to note is right off the bat, it looks like you might be riding too small a board for your size. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing because it does allow you to manhandle your surfboard in certain situations, but it also makes it more difficult if it's too small for you to maneuver around the board, like moving your feet up and back when it's necessary, and just doing overall general little adjustments can create a huge ripple effect through the board that creates over adjustments at time. So think about that. There's some great volume calculators out there, one at Lost and one at Firewire, that you can go online and get an idea what kind of volume you need in your surfboard. And that'll give you a better idea of whether you're riding too small a board or not. Now, this is also a good transition into your question about speed and feeling like you always had to race the wave just to stay in front of it. That could also be because the board is too small for you. So again, give that a good thought. What I noticed from the photos that you sent is your decision on when to pump versus when to plane. What I mean by that is here you've chosen to pump when I think the better option would have been to pull your back foot up a little bit and plane down that nice open face you had in front of you all the way down to the trough. You would have still made it around this section and then enabled yourself to set up for a big top turn, hitting that lip that is just feathering above your head in this photo. Really start to pay attention to that, especially in waves of this size with nice open faces like this, on when it's going to be best to plane down the face, generating speed, versus pumping, trying to get through a section. You can really generate equal amounts of speed if you're doing it correctly. Here you're doing a great job planing. Your body positioning is absolutely perfect. You have that nice even distributional weight, allowing that flat surface just to skim across the top of the water. Now with all this great speed you just generated, you're setting yourself up really nice to a big wraparound. Now what you've done here is you've dropped really low on the wave, which means you have to go all the way back up to the top to do a big round cutback. And by the time you get there, you will have lost all your speed. So what I suggest in the future is that you keep this high line and run it all the way out high and then rotate that arm out, allowing you to drop down the face and back into the whitewash, like Taylor Knox is doing here. As you can see, he took a high line, maneuvered his foot all the way to the back of his board, rotated his left shoulder out, planting his hand, and maneuvered down the wave back into the whitewash. I suggest you go and study everything Taylor does when it comes to frontside wraparounds. In my opinion, he's the best in the business. I also suggest you go watch my video on the frontside turn on YouTube. It'll give you a good example of the techniques necessary to execute it. I'd like to get into more detail on your turns and turns in general here, because I think this is a good opportunity to point out some key things that need to happen if you're going to execute big frontside turns, roundhouses, gouges of any kind. Now your setup was great. You have your foot far back on the surfboard and you're bending your knees, opening your shoulder, getting ready to do a roundhouse. But something happens. You forget the last critical technique in order to execute a roundhouse. That last critical technique is your head movement. As you can see, your eyes remain focused down the line, when what you really want are your eyes to track with the surfboard, constantly looking back, trying to get back into the whitewash. Again, take a good look at Taylor's focus. It's focused in the direction he wants to go. His head and eyes are constantly tracking with the turn, looking to get back towards the whitewash. So that's all that really needed to happen here. Your technique looks great. The only thing is your eyes just remained focused dead ahead when you really wanted your eyes to drive the board and your body in the direction of the turn. So in summary, a lot of the progress that you're going to make is going to be based on your back foot and your ability to move your back foot forward and backward at the right moments. You're going to step up on your surfboard when you want to plane and go fast down the face of the wave, and you're going to step back when you want to do a big frontside turn, gouge, or roundhouse. You look like you might be a heavy-footed surfer, as I am, and these types of movements along the surfboard can be very difficult for surfers like us. But the good news is that the waves you have where you live in Santa Cruz allow you the long point breaks to practice moving those feet up and back and feeling the difference of speed that you can generate by just those subtle movements. I hope this helps, Matt. I want to thank you for choosing Surf Pro techniques. I look forward to hearing about your progression in the future.